Hooray! All right, we're back for another Facebook Live, and this theme is going to be around struggle. So I'm really looking forward to sharing really what goes on with your energy systems when you're engaging in struggle. So I see that some of you are joining. Hi, Carol. Hi, Claire. Yeah, I'm excited for tonight. This is going to be a great topic because I know that every single one of us have had times, and I'm not talking about small struggles when maybe, I don't know what, you're reluctant to go up and do the shopping or something like that. But when those struggles begin to impact how we walk through our daily lives, how we walk through our soul life, those are the struggles that kind of talk about an underlying energy pattern that is actually, well, it's all good. It is all good. But my goodness, we all know that it can be a real challenge when it's getting stuck. Hi, Kathleen. And of course, ask your questions, because it's a great way for me to bring forward understandings in a way that, that really both fulfill your needs, but also helps me understand how to convey the information as well. Hi, Mira, Wendy. Good morning from Colorado. Well, good evening from Cornwall. Maybe you guys have got a cup of tea with me as well. Alexandra, Anne, fabulous. Kind of beginning to figure out how to do these Facebook Lives and be able to see all of you at the same time. Carol, hasn't this year been more challenging than any other? You know, this year definitely has been intense, unless you did the intensity last year, in which case this year is opening up. But yeah, I'm going to come to that as well. So great. One of the things that I see when people are engaged in a developmental struggle, let's put it in those terms. So the way in which there's a theme or a situation or a person, we can especially engage in it with people. No one can trigger our energetic dysfunctional patterns as much as people we love or people that we're in close relationship with, such as a boss or your sister's husband or somebody like that. So family and close people we're in close relationship with, they can really help us sort through our stuff. Now, that's another way of saying they can present us with so many challenges that actually we're forced to evolve beyond our perspective of that situation as a challenge. And actually, I say we're forced to, but the truth is at some point we choose to. At some point we choose to no longer be working with the hidden places in ourselves that are presenting that issue or that person as a really major struggle for us, as a major issue. So energetically, what's happening, and it's amazing to see, is there's a cycling. There's a cycling and a recycling in our energy systems. So there's a cyclical pattern that begins to form a habit. But it's not problematic. It's not a dysfunctional habit, because each time it's moving from the depths of your energetic core and sometimes out even beyond your aura, depends what the issue is, how deep it is for you. But as that energy starts literally cycling through your system, then each time as it's moving and presenting, it's actually giving the chance to really work on a different layer of it, so that as you're working with it, what it looks like is that cycling energy is asking for expansion within your system. This really is nothing to do with the other person or the life circumstance that's throwing this up. This is to do with the need of your depth, a need of your energetic core. So situation arises again, because if it is a struggle situation, it's one that you've visited many, many, many times before, maybe in different packages, but it's there. So situation arises. from the depth of your energy, you have responses, which is very different from many times when it's more of a superficial response and it's a learned program that we pick up in our energy system and it just kind of throws a loop and eventually we move through it. But when it's a deep struggle, it comes from the very depth and it begins to ripple out through all of your other energy systems. And they pick it up there, they kind of figure out how to work with it, either in dysfunction or function, dysfunction or balance. But each time this presents, each time it comes up through your energy systems, it's inviting expansion. And that's what's so amazing. And I know, just as every single one of us know, I know that when we're in that situation of struggle, it doesn't feel amazing and it doesn't feel like an opportunity and it doesn't feel like expansion. It feels like, oh my God, here I am hitting my head against this brick wall around this situation again. But really, your energy systems are opening. They're looking to resolve. They're looking to solve that situation. Let me just see before I go on if there's anything coming up. Hi, Katie and Stephanie, Joy. Hi, Joe and Sue, Ewan, Alice, loads. Hi there, Catherine. Beautiful. So remember, pop those questions in as well if there's anything I'm saying that you need further clarification on. So, as those situations are coming up, always there's a vibration in your system that's looking for resolution. And I suspect many of you have had the situation where something really is presenting as a challenge, as a struggle, and maybe it's historical or maybe it's more circumstantial. And then one day it's simply not there anymore. I hope that's familiar to you. I've certainly experienced it myself and seen it a lot with clients as well, where it's like, well, that issue that I was working on or that you were working on or that the practitioner was working on just is gone. And that's exactly what happens when that issue of struggle becomes encompassed in the energy field in a way that literally leads to a shift in your vibration, an expansion in your vibration. So that cycling loop of energy from the depth out through the system, we can see it as a thread of the energetic core, a thread of the soul energy, if you want, that's actually looking to balance. It's seeking harmony. And in its seeking harmony, it's making sure that you're very aware of the struggle, of the complexity, of the duality that you're housing. And when there's enough rippling through the system of an understanding at that deeper level, it simply becomes absorbed in a different vibrational energy. And that's how we evolve our consciousness, yeah? That's how we evolve our health and our energy systems. Because from about age 6 or 7, we begin to have what I'd call an intact consciousness system. You know, when we're very young, we're in a place where it's we're continually absorbing information, and we don't really have a set consciousness identity. Maybe that's the best way to say it. But then from that place, our consciousness identity or understanding of consciousness or vibration or level of consciousness is going to go through very, very, very many stages of development until the day that we die. So as that's expanding, sometimes it's really, really easy. Sometimes it really, before we even know we're presented with a challenge, our system has expanded to embrace and vibrate at a place where that challenge is no longer a challenge. Or it becomes something more like a massive expansion that we really recognize. Maybe trust's been an issue for you, and then one day you fall in love and you choose to trust that individual, and wow, your vibration changes massively and it reprograms all of those places where the message previously had been trust isn't safe. Or maybe it's hormonal changes, big transition changes, times when we go through rites of passage, such as obviously puberty, leaving home for the first time. That's a massive vibrational change in our system when we really begin to spread our own wings as we develop our own ideas of what our life's going to be about. I've mentioned falling in love, getting married, getting a promotion at work that actually involves a shift or an embracing of a new identity. All of these expand. Having children, massive for mums and dads, huge vibrational change in the family when a new baby comes in. Let me drink my tea. Let's see if there's any questions. Katie, you're saying, when I say come from your energetic depths, could we also say soul, or do you see them as separate systems? Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying, Katie. If I talk about the real core of the energetic core or the energetic depths, then in my language, in my understanding, I can absolutely translate that as soul energy. Soul is a pretty big word, and it's a word that has been the domain of theologians and kind of pigeonholed places in our collective language. Soul music, soul food. So when we talk about the energy anatomy of the soul, then for me, that's everything held within the energetic core. So yes, if you hear me talking about energetic depths, then absolutely I'm talking about that superhighway of soul energy. Excellent. Hi, Magdalena, Anna. Wonderful. Lots of us here looking at this. Hi, Emma and Jill. Excellent. So I guess the first thing I'm saying about the energy of struggle is give it space, give it time, give it attention. Often when we're struggling with something, we become engaged in battle with it. So there's a wisdom in the depth of us that is looking for balance. And we can say, accept the situation or surrender to it. But often they're just words. They're kind of taglines that we throw around in our own consciousness, and we can't move beyond that place. So give it some attention. Sit with the fact of, why is this a struggle for me? Every time I see that person, I get irritated. Or every time I think about stepping up into a new position in my work or into a relationship or whatever it is that you're struggling, every time I look to improve my health, I meet the same challenges. If there's an every time, then give it space. Give it space in your awareness, in your consciousness. And yes, there are energy exercises that we can bring in here, and I'll share a couple in a minute, but actually it really is about bringing your consciousness to that place, being able to perceive that, I'm here again. What is this really about? If you take the situation or the other person out of it all, what is the essence of your struggle? Because that, as soon as you start getting some insights, maybe not even some answers, maybe more questions, as those questions are arising, as you're taking your attention to the depth of the struggle for you, what is your energy trying to help you understand? If you can see it that way, then immediately you're giving a lot of space. You're giving your energy fields the opportunity to expand into that new vibration so that your struggle dissolves. That place where the word surrender still might not mean much, might not be able to understand how you surrendered. But for me, surrender simply means space. Because when you have space in your energy field, then those places of struggle, of tension, of stress simply become places of balance. And yeah, sometimes when I say things like that, I think, yeah, that sounds too easy. And being willing to give space to a place of struggle sometimes really isn't easy, and that's okay. But having the attention to take your consciousness there, having the intention to say, next time I'm thinking about that person and I'm getting particularly irritated, or next time I'm falling into another spiral of ill health, I'm going to really sit with it. I'm going to really ask myself questions about it. I'm going to ask, what is the wisdom that my deep energy is sharing with me about this situation? And that will begin to put ripples of connectiveness through your system until that struggle simply dissolves. Let's see if there's any questions here. Valerie, you're asking, when you go for a new job or a challenge and you don't get it, sometimes that's for our higher good. Yes, could I say something like this? Yeah, definitely can. Sometimes it's just a cop-out, isn't it? Sometimes we can say, oh, well, there's a greater plan in place. And actually, we didn't step up for it fully. We weren't able to meet that challenge. And we can conveniently scapegoat it or put it into a much bigger picture and say, oh, well, there's something bigger going on at play. So it's about that place of being really willing to be honest. Did you meet the universe as much as it was trying to meet you? And if you did, then you can honestly say, yeah, okay, there's a bigger picture here. I don't know what it is, but I really trust that between me and the universe, we're creating this amazing thing I call my life. So I trust that I wasn't meant to get that job. Something else is around the corner, or maybe I'm going to learn in a couple of months' time that that person is a nightmare to work with or for, or maybe it's about me creating my own new job or whatever it is that you're moving forward. So I would say that place of a higher good or a greater wisdom that's occurring, absolutely, but we're not passive in that. The universe is not creating our life. You're creating it with the universe. We are co-creators together. And so if you can honestly say, yep, I stepped up fully for that interview, for that job, for that challenge, and I didn't get it, then you can feel like, cool, there's a bigger plan at play here. If, however, you're dropping away from meeting that challenge, if, however, you're saying, oh, I didn't really know if I was really good enough for that job anyway, well, then no matter what the universe is trying to help you create, you're not able to meet it at that point. So yeah, that place. Sometimes I use the word brutal honesty. I expect of myself, and I teach with my students, go for brutal honesty. Go for that deep, inquisitive curiosity. Was I really honest in that situation? Did I really show up? And if the answer is no, then that's fine. Just be honest with yourself. Okay. Lovely. Carol, is it something else if every week it's a different challenge? Yeah, so sometimes, Carol, I love that question, because sometimes what we discover, if we can really sit with it, is that it's not a different challenge at all, that it's the same challenge presenting in different ways. So I just say with that one, really look at it. If you were to choose the last 5 weeks and the last 5 challenges that you've had, look to see if there's a similar theme, because there nearly always is. And you might have to go down depth and depth and depth to actually understand what that theme is, but try that approach. And technological or technology challenges that are reoccurring, absolutely. Again, my feeling on this, looking at the way that energy interrelates, is that when we are in alignment with ourselves, with what we're wanting to create forward in our own lives. So if our energetic depths and our daily life are in alignment, then those challenges disappear. It doesn't matter whether they're technology, relationship, professional, personal. We move into a place where it feels really like we're floating along. And I fully trust, I really hope that everybody has experienced that at times. It might not be the normal for us all the time, but those times when you just feel, oh, life is easy. If there was an option for something to go right or go wrong, it went right. And those are the times that we really know we're in alignment. So if something is continually occurring, for me, that's always a great place to inquire, what could be further in alignment? What deep wisdom is coming out? All right. Yeah. So, Els, you're saying that even though sometimes you really experience the tough places, you enjoy your life and feel so much gratitude for everything and everyone, sometimes you lose courage. Absolutely. Sometimes it takes a lot of courage. Yeah. When we hit those places where we're up against, I would in my language, I'd say we're up against the edges of our energy field. And in the edges of our energy field, it's a place where things continually flip. If you think of it in terms of polarity, and maybe you do or maybe you don't, but that's what's happening. Energetically, when we get to the edge, when we get pushed into a place of edge, it's like the polarity of the energy there is bouncing back and forth. You imagine you've got 10 magnets and they're moving and they're flipping. And so suddenly something's being repelled and then something's being attracted, something's being repelled, but it's continual and it's kind of outside our ability to bring rationality to, and sometimes outside the ability to even work with specific energy exercises, because we're really in that place of tightness and confusion. So Els, when I read what you're writing here, I think that's probably what's happening, that you're living through that beautiful soul place. You're expanding your life through your gratitude. And then there's a theme that's coming up, and it's a theme that's encouraging expansion and wisdom. But as it's moving you into these edge places. And then that's where the anxiety and the lack of courage and the tears come. And then it feels like you're rebalancing. And I love it here, but sometimes I feel a bit desperate or despairing. Not sure, both the same root of the word anyway. So that's exactly what can happen. And if you in that place, if when you feel I'm in an edge place, if you can give it space, then if you can simply say those words, right now, I'm kind of right in an edge place. All right. Well, what am I going to do? And sometimes the answer is nothing. We don't have to do anything. And sometimes the more we try and do, the more we create more edge places, or the more we experience it fully. So in those times, your way, Els, is to move into emotion, and sometimes that release through tears. And that is a very, very effective way, sometimes not enjoyable. So it could even be that you can simply say, yeah, today I'm in a real edge place and I'm going to look to go outside more. I'm going to take some really good quiet time to sit with myself, to nurture myself, do something that really nourishes you on that day. Give yourself time to sit with your legs up on the sofa and just feel and think and be okay, not to try and find resolution. Because when we're in that edge place, sometimes all we need is space. And I'm going to show you an exercise that would be brilliant for exactly those times when you know that the struggle that you're engaging in has pushed you into the edge of yourself, the edge of your energy field. And it's a very, very simple one. You're going to come into a 3-finger notch, and right above the point of your ears, so imagine you're an elf and you've got pointy ears, so right above that, if you put your, what am I looking at here? I'm looking at, for those of you who work in inches, I'm looking at 2 inches above the ears. So here's the point of my ear and here's my hand. For those of you that work in centimeters, I'm looking at 4 to 5 centimeters above. And this is a very, very powerful point that connects deep into the endocrine system, and especially the pineal gland. And when we're in edge places, often what can be beautiful is to bring in more light, because light creates movement and light creates space. So this exercise, and I'm showing you with my elbows up, but you could easily just pop your elbows on the desk, on your knees. If you're lying in bed, you could prop your elbows up with pillows so that you can simply be holding this. And very, very gentle pressure here, hardly any pressure at all. In fact, just a lovely constant touch. What happens when we can really activate these points? Some of you might be EEM practitioners and you'll be wondering if this is the spleen neurovascular point, but actually it's higher than that. So when we're working with this point, what begins to happen is that the pineal gland and the rest of the master glands bring in, actually that's not true, I was going to say they bring in more light, they don't. They align the light that you always have in your system. So they align it, and as it aligns deeper into the core, it begins to shine out of these 2 points. And that connects into an amazing, amazing anatomy part of our energetic core, which is made up of diamonds. And this connects into the diamond structure. And at that point, we feel strong and stable, aligned and safe. So when we're working with struggle, we can tap into these points to actually really connect us into a whole different place. Okay, cool, I love that. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Catherine, I'm reading here what you're saying, and I'm going to say, do that same exercise. Yeah, I know, Valerie, brutal honesty. It's a hard phrase, but it's a beautiful experience. All right. Yeah, many of you saying that edge place really resonates with you. Yeah. Okay, Rob, the greatest struggle is to stop struggling. Absolutely, absolutely. Cool, I'm glad, Pauline, that you loved that. This is definitely, think of it as being a really soulful alignment exercise. All right, fabulous. I guess we're winding up. I do try and keep these to half an hour so that we have very respectful of time. And I also just want to share a little bit about what is moving for me this week, because this will be the last Facebook Live on this site. It's a big week, really excited. I'm saying goodbye to Imaginal Health, which has been the amazing vehicle that I've worked within for the last several years, but moving on to really embracing a new vision, which, yes, will still have a big emphasis on health, but the understanding that healthcare is soul care and soul care is healthcare. So unless we really look at how to align and express that amazing, amazing soul light that each and every one of us has, then our health can continue to cycle out of alignment. So I'm going to be moving my Facebook page, and that will happen on Thursday, so 2 days time, Thursday the 9th of May. So please come over to my new Facebook page, and there'll be lots of information on this Imaginal Health Facebook page on Thursday, but after that there'll be no more. So my Facebook Lives will be on the Prune Harris Facebook page, and also a new website. And as part of encouraging you all to come over to my new website, then I've written a pretty awesome ebook that will really, I'm really excited about it. It's Energy Essentials for Everyday Living, and covers a whole range of topics, and there's videos and exercises to go with that. So come on over and be part of what I really hope is a new vision, not just for individual healthcare, but for the collective, so that we can really, each of us, step up and claim our rightful place in this world that we are co-creating together. It's a pretty messy place right now, and I think we can do a lot better. I think we can really be much more powerful by being able to shine each and every one of our own light into this world. So yes, fabulous. More information will certainly follow through email. Sign up to the newsletter so that you can really get everything that we're putting out at the moment, because there's lots of exciting changes coming. All right. I'm going to just say bye-bye. Please can you invite us to your new page when it goes live? I certainly will. I certainly will. Don't worry about that. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks on the Facebook Live on my new site, Prune Harris. All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. Bye-bye.